What's good, folks? Good afternoon. Good evening. What's good? Today, I want to talk about, oh my Lord, the sacrificial lamb, Amber Guyger. Yes, I'm talking about the sacrificial lamb, Amber Guyger. Okay, for those of you who don't know and should know, Amber Guyger is a costumed law enforcer, right? Who walked up into someone else's apartment, and while he was eating ice cream and watching TV, shot him in the chest and killed him. Okay? As he was dying on the floor, she administered no first aid. She walked up out of the room and called the police, as cool and calm as could be. And yeah, the young man died. And so then fast forward some time later, about 8, 9, 10, 11 months, she's on trial for murder, okay, which is rightful. She should have been charged for murder. She walked up into that dude's room or apartment with the intent to kill him. That's what she said, and that's what she did. She intended to murder him. That was what she said, and that is murder, okay? So after some time of trial, when all of her lies are being torn apart by the prosecutor masterfully, here we go with the verdict. Okay, she's found guilty. She's found guilty. Okay, now throughout the trial, she's talking about how she's trained to shoot to kill. Okay, now I want you guys to pay attention to that. She just admitted in front of the nation. This is what no one's picking up. All right, that's talking about it. She just admitted on national TV that she was trained to kill, shoot to kill, and that's it. Okay? That came out in that trial. So that means that these police officers are being trained to kill the people that they are overseeing. They are our overseers. Okay? We are slaves to the system, and police officers are our overseers. They oversee us. They make sure that we're not causing trouble, that we're not destroying property, that we're not interfering with government shit. You know what I'm saying? It used to be under the auspices of protect and serve. They got rid of that whole, I mean, that delusion. We might as well not even lie about that anymore. So let's get back to it. She is trained and admits that she is trained to kill. Trained to kill. Not to subdue, not to incapacitate. To kill. Shoot center mass. Stop their heart. That's what she said their training is. That's what her fellow officers said their training is. That defended her in the court. Okay? So mind you, we have people ripping and running the streets in black and white vehicles, a group of people whose males are 40% more likely than any other group in the country to commit domestic violence. We have them ripping and running the streets with loaded firearms, trained to kill the people they encounter. That is their training. Let's get that straight. And I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you a little tidbit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When I got out the Army, within a couple months, I applied to become a Los Angeles airport police officer. I filled out the application. I went through the whole background check. Was even lined up to go to the academy, and something happened, and I, you know, it didn't come about. Right? This was about 2005 or something like that. Well, I was talking to one of the intake officers, okay? And I noticed that there were a few other veterans there applying for the job, and that 90% of them were infantry like me. And I said, you know, do you guys ever hire MPs? Wouldn't that be a good thing for you guys to do, to hire MPs? And he was like, no, we don't hire military police officers because we have to retrain them. Okay? We would have to retrain them. And I'm going to tell you what that means. And then he said, okay, we would have to retrain them. So it's better to hire infantry soldiers, prior infantry, because it's easier to train them to commit the action that we would want them to commit, which is when they encounter any type of resistance or trouble, basically they want to kill your ass. You know what I'm saying? They train you to kill. Oh, I fear for my life. You kill a motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? It's easier to train an infantry soldier who's already basically been through that training. Train to kill. We're trained killers. You know, we see an enemy. They tell us, oh, that's your enemy. Go kill them. That's essentially how easy it is. That's what they train you for as an infantry soldier. But an MP is trained a little differently. They're not trained to kill. They're not trained to kill. That's not the most ideal act. They don't prioritize killing the people they encounter. Okay, and so that's the thing. And what we witnessed with this trial was a clear message. Police officers are trained to kill your ass if they encounter you. If they sense any type of fear or resistance, they will pull out that gun. They will murder you. They will kill you. It doesn't matter if you don't have a weapon. It doesn't matter if you are really a threat. All you have to do is present a perceived threat. And that's all she wrote. That will be all she wrote for your ass. That should be a learning lesson for you. This trial, that's what I see. When I see this trial, I see that, okay, they're sending the message. Amber Guyger told you in that trial that her training dictates that she is to seek and destroy, to kill. Without hesitation. There was no hesitation. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Well, that's just a formality. That's just a formality. Let me see your hands. Hands up, all that bullshit. Formality. Formality. Now, and then for them to murder is halfway legal. It's halfway legal for them to murder. See, police officers are above the law, or they think they're above the law. They don't have to follow the laws that they are enforcing. They can speed. They can run through red lights. All they got to do is go whoop, whoop, whoop with their little bullshit ass sirens. They can harass. They can go through your pockets without permission. You know what I'm saying? They can bring a dog out, and if the dog does some weird shit at your car, they can search your whole damn car. That's how they obtain probable cause. But in this case, Botham didn't present any type of threat. He was in his own home. He was eating ice cream. He stood up and said, hey, what the hell? And and died for it. Died. You know what I'm saying? Died. Eating ice cream in his own crib. That's another message. That is another message for you. And the message is, you're not safe in your own home from a police officer. If they run up in your house and shoot you to death, the worst that might happen is they'll get a 10-year sentence. Or something to that effect, depending on where you are. Now, let's look at something else. See, Amber Guyger, she took one for the team. Amber Guyger took one for the team. And she let the whole world know, if you murder somebody, if you're a police officer and you murder somebody, everyone will come to your defense. You'll get your hair stroked. You'll get hugged by the brother of the victim. The judge will come, her little black ass down there, and give her hugs and give her a Bible and read scriptures to her. Feeling bad for the little white girl, right? No, but this is not really about black and white. They want you to think it's about black and white. They want you to think that it's about black and white so that we can keep our focus on black and white, black versus white. And in a lot of cases, it's true. If this was a black police officer who killed a white woman, they might flip the script and say, "Oh, he has to get the maximum sentence." If it was if the colors were reversed, she was black and he was white, she might have got 25 years. She might have got 25 years. But it's still part of the plan. You see, what it is you have the order followers, the police officers. It's not really about black and white. They'll use black and white because they know that black and white, they know that racial tension exists. And they know the racial tension exists, and they will exploit the shit out of it. They'll perpetuate it to keep your focus on just that. No, it's about them. It's about the elite over the proletariat. I keep telling y'all. It's about the elite versus the proletariat. It's about keeping the proletariat down here, right? Because there's many more of us. It's like the horse tied to a chair. The chair is the elite, and the proletariat is the horse. You tie that horse to the chair, the horse weighs 1,000 pounds. The chair weighs what, 2 pounds? But the horse will not move or drag that chair nowhere because it's mentally conditioned to think that chair is more powerful than it. Now, moving forward, what do we have? We have the judge whispering sweet nothings in this woman's ear. We have the brother saying that he forgives her. I don't want you in jail. Oh, I don't want you to suffer and die like my brother did. No. I want you to be free as a bird. Why don't you go on vacation? Oh, you know what? When you get out of prison, I got you. I got a place for you to stay. We can get married. We can live in an island somewhere. What's the clear message? What's the clear message? Look at the message, right? Look at the message. Read between the lines. Everybody's caping for this woman. Everybody's caping for this woman. Everybody's forgiving this woman. Everybody's throwing scripture out there. Everybody's using religion to push this whole let's forgive the cop for killing motherfucker shit. So that's where we're at. And she was the example. She was the sacrificial lamb. Look, Amber, you gotta suffer for 10 years. You gotta sit in that can for 10 years. But it could have been worse. You could have got life. You could have got 99 years. She could have got 99 years, not life. 99 years, between 5 and 99. But she got 10 years. Because she's a cop who's trained to kill. She's a cop who's trained to kill. And that's exactly what she did to that young man. Murdered him in his own home. You're not even safe in your own house. Not safe in your own house. No. Because a cop can do whatever. They have carte blanche to enter your home, and they have carte blanche to kill your ass if you move a fucking inch. Don't even have to move an inch. Do you see what I'm saying? So where do we go from here? Where do we go? Where do we go from here? I can't have light on. Where do we go from here? Oops. Where do we go? Well, they have a fresh batch of legislation for you, waiting in the wings, waiting to be passed, so that we can be further enslaved. We got red flag laws in almost 20 different states now. And more states are pushing for it. We got the TAPS Act waiting in the wind. I told y'all about the TAPS Act. If you don't know about the TAPS Act, go back in my videos. I talk about the TAPS Act in one of my videos, in one of my live streams. I go in depth and I show you what it's all about. It's a pre-crime bill. Where do we go from here? You know, with the TAPS Act in place, they don't need airport laws because they won't need. I mean, it's an auxiliary legislation, piece of legislation, because they can monitor. They can monitor the social media networks. They can monitor Facebook. They can monitor YouTube. They can monitor Twitter. They can monitor Instagram. See what kind of shit you talking. They can determine for themselves whether or not you're a threat to yourself or to others. They won't need a family member or a fellow teacher or a coworker or a neighbor to call the cops on you anymore. No. They'll just look at your Instagram. They'll get your IP address. They'll look at your YouTube. They'll get your IP address. They'll look at your Facebook. They get your IP address. They find out where you live. They'll send somebody over to collect your ass and take you on down to the nut house. Get you evaluated. Take all your weapons. You see, it's not just firearms. Weapons. Not just firearms, y'all. Anything that could be used as a weapon. A knife, a hammer, a bat. Pay attention. Connect the dots. They just told the world that a cop can murder you. And even if a jury decides that you should do some time for it, or that the cop should do some time for it, that cop should be forgiven. They're preaching this whole healing thing, this healing bullshit. Oh, look at the healing. If you listen to these pundits and these commentators, there's a lot of healing going on. This is spectacular. I've never seen anything like this in 37 years. Oh, it's quite healing. Who's healing? Amber needs to heal. Amber, are you talking about Amber Guyger? She needs to heal. What about Botham? He can't heal. He's not here. He's not around. Pay attention, y'all. Because the shit's getting deep. We are headed toward an Orwellian society. We're already there. We're already halfway there. With draconian laws being passed, we are headed toward the abyss. We are already on the precipice. We are on the precipice of the abyss. And many people are calling for the change of their own enslavement with this gun control bullshit. All they need is to pass the right gun control bill that doesn't appear to be violating your Second Amendment, but really is violating the entire fucking Bill of Rights. It violates the Bill of Rights, and that's the TAPS Act, y'all. The TAPS Act. Red flag laws. Those combined, over and done with. Over and done with. You might as well leave the fucking country. Or you can stand up and say, nah, I'm not rolling. This some bullshit. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, I'm flabbergasted. I'm in awe of what happened at the end of that Amber Guyger trial and sentencing. This is the most shameful shit I've ever seen in my life. It is utterly ridiculous. I just, really need to start looking at this shit, y'all. We need to pay attention. We need to spread the word. We need to help people understand that our government is not our government. They're our masters. Well, you could say the government is a master. And we have a Congress making laws that will affect each and every one of us in some form or fashion. Every law they create adds a chain to our a link to the chain of our enslavement. Every law they pass strips us of our rights. We don't need their laws. We don't need their control. We don't need them for jack shit. All we need is ourselves, our willpower, our determination, self-determination. Self-determination, self-sufficiency, self-reliance, self-reliance. And those of like mind coming together to ensure that our freedoms are protected. Because who's going to be more inclined to protect your freedoms other than you? Who is going to be more inclined than you to protect your freedoms? Not the cops. Not the Congress. You know what they call a group of baboons? You know what they call them? A Congress. Yep. A group of baboons are known as Congress. Yep. So we have a group of baboons leading us into the pit of perpetual enslavement. Yeah. So it seems abysmal, but we have the opportunity, and it's not too late. It's not too late to turn it around. It's never too late. Every empire falls at some point. But when it does, will the people be ready to pick up the pieces on their own? We'll see.